Back here we have in studio for the whole hour out of Lake Taylor High School in Norfolk. He was a state champion his junior year with the Titans, if memory serves me right. Defensive lineman with the Ohio State Buckeyes, checking in at 6'5". He's listed at 283 pounds. We'll get the true measurement if that's right. Had a great career at Ohio State, 85 total tackles, 15 behind the line of scrimmage, 5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 2 recoveries, and he's getting ready for the NFL draft, which is in 5 days. He'll be here in the 757, and we say good morning to Jalyn Holmes. Jalyn, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Oh, we're loud and clear. We're glad the technical difficulties have been solved now. How you been?
I've been good, just trying to stay in shape, stay ready for, rookie minicamp was in 3 weeks. So just trying to see where I'm going to end up and just be ready for rookie minicamp.
We spoke with Derek Noddy, who you know out of Ocean Lakes High School, Florida State, last week, and we asked him this, and I'll pose it to you too. If you had a chance to do it all over again, some may not go to the school they picked. Would you still go to Ohio State?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I wouldn't change a thing. If I change, I wouldn't be wearing, rings like this. So we won a lot of games, had a lot of experiences. I never lost to Michigan, so I wouldn't change nothing.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you were recruited by Mike Vrabel, or were you not?
Zach Smith.
Zach Smith was the main recruiter. Vrabel was, I think, transitioning at that time.
Yeah.
When you picked Ohio State, what were kind of the main reasons you chose them? Because interesting recruiting, when you're a guy like yourself that's a top 250 level recruit, you get everywhere. Everybody in the country is looking at you. Some want you to stay home. You went a long way from home, and a lot of people were a little critical of that and didn't think you'd make it there.
Yeah. I chose Ohio State just because of the position I am now. I knew it was going to get me NFL ready. Really wasn't too sure about the playing situation. I will admit that going into it, I didn't know, but I knew I was going to get developed as a man and a football player. And now, I'm really reaping the benefits of that. When you meet these NFL teams, I know what I'm talking about. I went to a school that prepared us for that as soon as we walked through the door, to know how to draw up a defense, to know how to do all this stuff that I didn't know coming into college. But now I could tell you what the safety's doing in the back, in the back end. And that's just something that, Coach Johnson and Coach Meyer, they preach that. If you're not trying to go to the NFL, why you here? And it helped us get there. And if you're not trying to get a degree, why you here? So it's just the standard was set high there as a recruit. And since I've been there, I've been trying to meet it.
Was it what you expected, and what parts of it wasn't what you expected?
It was a lot harder than what I expected. It's tough. And, you coming from a program like Lake Taylor, we won a lot of games, but we didn't work like that. I don't think no high school works like that. And the whole these high school recruits now think they work hard. They really don't. The little stuff you probably doing, your little private trainers, when you get to college, it's a whole different ball game. It's like a full-time job. And you got that hard workout, then you got class, tutoring, all that stuff that tie into all that. I did not expect that. My first year hit me.
Well,
hard.
I'm going to turn it over to Coach Young here in a second. We're talking with Jalyn Holmes out of Lake Taylor High School, Ohio State Buckeyes defensive lineman before the NFL draft. You got a question for Jalyn, want to talk to him, give us a call at 757-687-9494. You can hit us up on Twitter, too, at HS Sports Talk 941, or call in at 757-687-9494. You were a little different than some of the main prospects, and not to go super in-depth, but you realized that not everybody's on your side, and you weren't afraid to say that.
What with going to Ohio State?
That, and then people that were in your corner or not in your corner. You were pretty outspoken, which I think is why Ed and me kind of like you, that you're real as opposed to everybody giving the cliche, politically correct answer.
Yeah, I didn't really care. When I chose to go to Ohio State, everybody was saying "Oh, you're not gonna play." I got it all, and it's from dudes that I didn't grew up with. I'm not gonna play. Bro, you know me. What's up? Why would you say something like that? But at the end of the day, I wasn't gonna follow no trend. The little trend that was going on. I ain't even going to speak about it, but I wanted to win, and I wanted to be a part of something that was bigger than just the Commonwealth Cup. I want to be a part of the national championship. I want to be a part of the game. That stuff, I seen the bigger picture, and I knew when it was time for me to, get ready for the NFL, those guys in Columbus, Ohio was going to get me the most prepared for it.
Well, Eddie was a trendsetter. He's got a nice shiny ring on his finger. That's bigger than your state championship ring. That thing is enormous.
I could tell you what, I kept looking out. Jalen, I need to borrow that for like one day.
Hey, no lie.
Man, this is like one of four.
Don't give him that ring. He lost his state championship ring for a month. You might want to grab that back. Yeah,
oh
you found it
underneath
it. What did you find underneath your carpet?
Yeah, it was in my house. This ring is the real deal. Look at
That's
the diamonds.
not even. I had put it next to the one we won my freshman year. It's not. I don't think it's bigger than the one freshman year.
Wow.
No, I don't think
it's
so.
got some weight to it, man. Feel that.
Let me get a picture
Hatfield,
of that. Yeah, we're going to tweet this out. That's a neat. Now, do you still have your state championship ring?
My dad got that.
Your dad's got that. Okay. Do you wear it often?
Nah, I should though. You know me. I get to talking trash. So it just got guys around, from the area that I grew up with. We good friends. I love to bring it up. So I may gotta borrow it again. I gotta, you remember James Church.
I do remember James Church. Know him and his dad went to Norfolk State Salem High School. Yeah, wide receiver.
I love rubbing that in.
Wow. And they came close a couple of times, had some fierce battles with Oscar Smith. If James is listening, he just called Jack. Give us a shout, 757-687-9494 on that really good Salem team with Andrew Motuapawaka and Bucky Hodges, who just got signed by the Jets. Yeah. And, of course, you guys, let's reminisce a little bit here about some of those days at Lake Taylor here. Junior year, you guys had, I still think it's one of the best high school finishes I've ever seen. You played Granby High in Norfolk, Powhatan Field, 4,000 plus, and you won it on I think it was kind of a Hail Mary pass. It was about 30 yards from Delman Williams at the very end. Is that still the most memorable play of your football career to date?
Yeah, I do. I think it is. It's just that play, it's hard to describe. Like, the game on the line. We haven't lost to a Norfolk team in I don't know how long. Granby was a great team too, but just one of them plays. Like, if you don't catch this, we lose. So I just I had to make that. I still remember. I still watch the highlights sometimes just to like get that feeling again. Like, damn. Like, your
assistant coach rubs it in for me butchering your name on the TV show too. I called you Jalyn Williams. I was getting the excitement of it, but. That was a crazy play. I mean,
it was.
Did it ever cross your mind in a game like that? I asked this to other competitors that you could lose that big game.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing I had said. I was talking to Coach Sawyer like the next week about it. Like, what if I didn't catch it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, will people still feel the same way about me? I was just thinking, I'd be thinking that deep sometimes. But, like, at that moment, I'm like, we got to win. I seen the ball up in the air. I don't remember who was guarding me, but it didn't really matter at the time. I just knew we had to get that W.
And you had another memorable game in the state semis against North Stafford. Had a big catch to set up Marquise Poole's game-winning field goal before you played Stonebridge and beat them in the championship.
That game was crazy. I'm still tripping on like Marquise. How long was the field goal?
It was pretty long. I wasn't at the game, but I remember it being pretty long.
We was down 21 nothing, I think, or 14 at halftime, something like that. We rallied, came back. We had or Delman Williams, boy, he saved us a lot of time.
And Delman is now at, where's he? Is he Hampton University? Yeah, Hampton University playing his college football. We're talking with Jalyn Holmes, the defensive lineman from the Ohio State Buckeyes and Lake Taylor High School in Norfolk. You want to talk to Jalyn? Give us a call at 757-687-9494 to get in here. 757-687-9494. Hit us up on Twitter too at HS Sports Talk 941. We talked to Keith and Smith. You're on with Jalyn Holmes. Keith.
Hey, Jalyn, how you doing this morning, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Congratulations to your year, Ohio State. Y'all had an outstanding year this year.
Appreciate that.
The next thing for the draft, everybody get nervous for the draft, and I'm rooting for you, man. Whoever team pick you up, man, I'm gonna put your jersey on, man.
I appreciate that.
Now, Keith, where do you want to see him go though? If you could make him go somewhere, where do you want him to go?
I'm a hard time Dallas Cowboy fan, and I want to see him come with the Cowboys, and he'll fit well with the Cowboys. He would get drafted by the Cowboys.
All right, so we'll put that down. So Keith wants to see Jalyn Holmes in a Cowboy uniform. All right,
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I knew my.
We're gonna ask Jalyn coming up down the road here, Keith, about maybe some of his boyhood favorite teams. We're not going to lock him into a team. He just wants to get in the league, period. But, he probably has a team or two he wouldn't mind playing for, and he probably has a team or two hope don't call his name.
Yes, sir. You have a nice day, Jalyn.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Keith. Phone's starting to light up now, 757-687-9494. Skip in Hampton, you're on with Ohio State's Jalyn Holmes out of Lake Taylor High School.
Hey, how you doing? I just have two questions. A, what was it like to play in the Big Ten versus playing like maybe SEC? And the other question is, that year, that state championship year, when y'all throttled my alma mater, Phoebus, the previous years you guys had really come close but lost in the Eastern Region Finals. What was that feeling like finally breaking through the glass ceiling? And I also want to thank you for beating Stonebridge again, because Phoebus and Stonebridge never got along.
Yeah.
So when y'all did beat them, I was at that game.
Yeah.
Sitting on the Stonebridge side, talking smack. So I thank you guys for making me look good.
So I answer your second question first. Beating Phoebus, that I lost to Phoebus. Remember when Porterhouse scored the first play?
Yes.
And we gave up that lead. I can't stand Phoebus, but
you lost your freshman and sophomore year to them?
No, I lost to Hampton my freshman year.
That's right, freshman year.
Sophomore year, I lost to Phoebus. But yeah, beating them, finally getting over that hump, it felt good. A lot of old Lake Taylor players is happy about that, because we always came close but could never finish. And I think the reason why that time we beat Phoebus, we could actually throw the ball downfield and we could spread the offense out and make Phoebus defend us on them deep balls. So that helped us a lot.
You were really driven that year. I remember going into it like refusal. You and a lot of the guys, the seniors and juniors on that group, not just yourself, but in terms of we're not going to let it happen again.
Yeah, because we lost. Obviously, we lost to Phoebus the year before on that kickoff. I mean, not a kickoff, but the field goal. And I remember telling my mom, because I was the last one to leave the field. I was the last one to leave the field. I'm like, I'm never losing them again. All year, summer off-season workouts, all that was to get back at Phoebus. So that's why we beat them the way we did. Don't take me out. Hey, we gonna try to score 100 points.
Well, it was pretty close. I think it was 54-0 was the final.
They were on the way for 100.
Yeah.
But and Jalyn, the other question he asked was playing in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
What was that feeling? He compared, of course, SEC. Now, you didn't play SEC, but maybe you played an SEC team. You've heard of all the stuff about SEC as what place to go. So thoughts about that?
So what I, especially a defensive line, and I was, I worked out in Arizona, and I worked out with a lot of different guys, Arden Key, Roquan Smith, all them guys that played at SEC. I was telling them one thing about SEC is we played Michigan State, who ran the ball all the time in the elements. It was like 12 degrees. It's a whole different type of football when, you got everybody, the Big Ten, the smallest offensive lineman, 6'5", 300 plus. Well, maybe in the SEC it's kind of slim. I'm not saying it's more physical than the other, but you getting real physical in the elements. I done played in snow, rain, cold rain, not just rain, but cold rain, hail, all that, and and just the physicality up front is kind of different because them offensive linemen in the Big Ten, they go to the NFL and play right away.
And even your last game, which I'll get to a little bit later on the show, it was something that stuck out with me that I felt like you would be successful in college at Dinwiddie with that crazy atmosphere with the horse and the cannon and all that.
Oh,
and
man, yeah.
Every screen pass, you were dragging guys. It might have been just 5-6 yards, but it was definitely a performance to remember. Let's go back to the phone, 757-687-9494 for Lake Taylor grad Jalyn Holmes out of Ohio State, getting ready for the NFL draft. Ronell and Hampton, I believe this is Ronell Brewer who used to coach with Ed. Is that right?
Hey, well, I used to coach girls over there at Green Run when Ed was coaching the boys there. So yeah.
Okay, what's up,
Yeah,
Ronell?
Ronell.
You're on with Jalyn Holmes.
Hey, how you doing, Coach John?
Good.
Jalyn, man, I'm out here right now, and I teach in Virginia Beach. I'm from Hampton, played for Hampton High. I heard what you just said. I hate Phoebus, too. I'm currently running for Norfolk School Board out here in Norfolk, and my only question for you is, do you feel like Norfolk Public City Schools prepared you well enough for when you went out there to Ohio State? Because right now, a lot of people talk bad about Norfolk schools, but I know it's a lot of good stuff going on here in Norfolk. Do you feel like you were adequately prepared for when you went out there?
Good question, Ronell. Thanks.
Honestly, I don't think no athlete is going to be 100% prepared for it. It's always going to be a culture shock. I went to Lake Taylor where it was majority black school, majority black teachers, and then I went to Ohio State where it's the complete opposite. So that was a culture shock in itself. But I did have I had my mom who was the guidance counselor at Lake Taylor Middle School. So she always tried to prepare me for college since day one. And Coach Sawyer did a great job about always telling us what was going to come. Everything he said in high school probably tried not to listen to him, but he was right. So I had a good support staff at Lake Teller. They tried to, they did everything they could to get me ready for high school. But I'm in college, but I feel like it's nothing you're not going to always be 100% ready. It's always going to be curveballs. I mean, it's just life, period. But I feel like they did a great job of getting me ready for the basic stuff, like just as far as being respectful, being on time, and just being prepared. That's something that, Coach Sawyer always preached, and Coach Witt, Coach Brown, all those. The list can go on. People at Lake Teller that helped me, and at Lake Teller Middle School that helped me get ready for college.
If I listen to you, Jalyn, I'm hearing you say they did the job for the most part. They did the job. But it really comes down to the individual student, what you put into no matter what school you're at.
Yeah.
You listen to the right people. And unfortunately, you have your mom who's involved in the educational system. If you do what the right people are trying to guide you and you put effort and time in, then you can make it. You went from a place like Norfolk that could be very combustible at times. You went to the big stage, and you're successful. You're sitting here, degree coming. Degree coming.
10 credits left.
Okay, he's close, and he's going to get it because Mom's going to make sure of that.
Yeah.
Mom going to make sure of that. And you're waiting here at the end of the week for the chance to hear your name to get paid. Come on now.
Yeah.
Who can do that?
Yeah.
So to say that Lake Taylor has prepared you, I'm sitting here as an outsider saying, I'm looking at you handle yourself and how you are. I think they've done a job.
Yeah.
But it's you putting that time and effort in.
Yeah. Right. It always come down to the individual, because being at Ohio State for those 4 years, I seen a lot of different recruits come from. I done seen different people come from different places, private schools, rich, poor, and sometimes the guys that go from the private schools come to Ohio State and struggle. So it depends on what you're willing to put in, and like you said, who you listening to. Because some people listen to, like, sometimes you get bad advice and you run with it, and
You listen to too many people.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you don't even know what your middle name is.
Uh-huh.
Right, you got it. You got to weed through that.
But yeah, appreciate. What was his name again?
Ronell,
yeah. Thank you, Ronell. We'll squeeze one more in here before we go to break, and you still have all hour to call at 757-687-9494. Don't be a stranger. Give us a call at 757-687-9494. Let's go to Brooke, somewhere in Virginia. Brooke, you're on with Jalyn Holmes.
I have one question. What was your favorite thing playing with the team?
With the team? Okay. Is that Ohio State or Lake Taylor or both?
Both.
All right, both. All right. Thank you, Brooke. Appreciate the call.
I think Jalyn might notice you.
My favorite thing playing with the team at Ohio State was just winning and singing Carmen, Ohio after the games when we win, because we sing it regardless. It's terrible to sing Carmen, Ohio after you lose. That's a terrible thing. But singing Carmen, Ohio in Michigan Stadium, knowing that's my last time. I got 4 gold pens. I never lost to them, and I could talk trash till they buried me. Like that was my favorite thing with Ohio State. And then with Lake Teller, we just talked about being Phoebus, like getting over that hump. Like Coach Sawyer probably lost to them too many times. He can't even count. But we got that first one at our side of the city. That's just one of my favorite things with both of them.
It was the first state championship for a school from the city of Norfolk since 1966. I was a little disappointed there, and I thought he would say his favorite thing was beating Thomas's Penn State Nittany Lions this year. Thomas was
too easy.
Throwing bricks to the TV.
See, and I had to tell somebody in the airport, Penn State consider us a rival. We don't consider them as a rival.
Yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
Like they have a whole OSU hate week at school. It's another game when we play them. Like our rival is, Team Up North.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which you're not allowed to say, I know.
They don't want to say that. They don't even give him any credit.
It's like that one girlfriend that claimed that's my boyfriend, but the boyfriend don't claim.
Not really.
Oh, Lord. Uh-oh.
Plenty more.
Watch out now.
Jalyn
Break
Holmes
time.
Out of Ohio State and Lake Taylor. Give us a call at 757-687-9494 right here on ESPN Radio 94.1.
You're listening to High School Sports Talk on ESPN Radio, presented by VirginiaPreps.com. Now back to your hosts, Matt Hatfield and the coach, Ed Young.
You said you just thought of something? You should. We'll bring you on board. We can talk to the powers that be. They might be a little intimidated when they see you walking down the hallway. And you are checking in at what? Are you 6'5",
283.
Okay.
Hopefully. Hopefully I'm not higher than that.
You said hopefully you're not higher than that 283. I've been on the scale lately.
Yeah.
Woo.
That's the best weight you play at?
This past year I didn't play from 280 to 286. The last game I was against USC I was 286.
Okay. Now maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to ask it now. So of the bowl game, I'd imagine the national championship game your freshman year beating Oregon was your favorite. No brainer. You got on the field at the end of that game, right?
Yeah.
Almost had a sack. I remember watching it at one of the wing places around town.
My favorite one was this past. This
was
Cotton
okay.
Bowl. Yeah, we had fun. Like we had a ball like
on the field and off the field. I take it.
It was fun. It was fun. Dallas showed us a good time.
What's the harshest criticism you've received in terms of? Let's talk about your college career. We talked a little bit about high school. What was it from one of your coaches, somebody else? What was sort of the harshest criticism you received that made you step back?
Made me mad or?
Well, that about your abilities, or did you ever have any doubts about I might make it here?
Like when I was at Ohio State, like I had a coach like question me if I cared, and like that kind of hurt because it's like I do, like because if I didn't, I would leave, like so. When they asked me did I care, it's just like almost took it personal, like what you like, you know what I mean? Like it made me step back, like what do you like? I wanted to retaliate, like do you care? Like
right.
So I don't like when people question that because it's like I may not have a face like I do, but I do. Like if I'm here, I love all my teammates. Like we all like this, and then you question me if I care. That was kind of like threw me off.
So in a strange way, it might have brought the best out of you, even though you had it in you all along.
It did though.
Okay.
I think a lot of times when you talk about a criticism question, that's what you're saying. What question or what reaction from a coach, it could be anybody, got you to say, wait a minute, and then you step up? Because sometimes players, again, I'm being a coach myself, they'll look like, are you really into this?
Yeah. And
they don't realize that that's the face they're showing, but maybe their work ethic is not quite there. And of course, sometimes as coaches, we know you care, but we're going to challenge you.
Yeah, I knew he did it on purpose because like he's just like it was going into my junior year, and then for that spring was like make a break for me. Like I had to step up. This is my junior year. I was playing sparingly the first 2 years, but it was my time, to step up. And I tell you, it was Coach Meyer. He was just like, you care, like. How bad do you even want to play? Like, and I just remember that whole spring, like every scrimmage, it was my goal to try to get Kid out of practice for hitting JT too much. Like that was my goal every day. Like they gonna have to kick me out of practice because they can't block me. I'm gonna bat down every ball. I'm gonna tackle everybody. Like I didn't, and he liked it. Like you know what I'm saying. But like it was a couple times like me and Sam, we would dominate like the defensive line. They would like y'all gotta get out.
Showing up to the young fellas on the other side, they may not make play day. They may not be able to get some action on the field. We're going to be taking some more calls too. Thing I want to get, you mentioned a little bit earlier in the interview about, wow, people don't realize when you go to that next level. Now, of course, you at the level.
Yeah.
There's sometimes a little difference, but not much. High school athletes don't understand. You play to this too. Sometimes you guys that are good skirt through a little bit. I mean, you do what coach asks him, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I'm in a weight room. And yeah, I did 12 reps. You did 4. Yeah. But it gets you through Friday night. You step to the level you have, and you got so many things to do, so many places you have to be, so many things you're responsible. Speak a little bit more about y'all just don't know what that next level brings.
Yeah, it's more than football. Like in high school, you could turn it on or turn it off. Especially you going to Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama, these places where these coaches getting paid $15 million a year. Oh, you're going to have to come to play. This is your job. Like, I remember one time in the weight room, we were working out, and it's during spring practice. We had practice one day, work out the next day. We had a bag practice. Coach Meyer walked in, turned the music off, and was like, walk on, starters, second screen. If y'all don't want to go to the NFL, get out. Like, this not your job, get out. And, like, that's what it is. Like, if you not doing schoolwork, you need to be watching film. Like, it's to the point where I go in, do my schoolwork, then go into the Woody, and I go to get the GA and was, like, pull up every Penn State third down from the last 2 years. Like, you got to think like that. Like, it ain't just, I'm just going to show up. Well, some dudes can do it in college, but then it's going to catch up to you in the NFL. So it's just, it's a full-time job, and you got to be on time to tutoring, and you got to be on time for class. You got a away game. We leaving Friday. Something that was due probably Saturday for everybody else. You got to finish by Wednesday. Like it's you don't like coming out of high school. You don't even think about that. But like you got that 10-page paper that's due Saturday, but we leaving to go to Iowa Friday morning. They want you to have it done by Wednesday. So your time already cut, and you got to watch film because they got a good offensive guard and a good running back. So now I need to watch double film. You don't have no kind of free. You do, but you don't. You got to all try to balance that, and it's not in high school. It's easy to balance school and ball in high school. It's not hard.
No, and you're still a college student.
Yeah.
And what gets really, people don't realize what really gets smashed is your free time, your social time, which what a lot of us want to do because you got people pulling you this way. Come over and see this. I want you to meet this person. But if you don't know how to balance it, I'm willing to bet you can name some names that dudes came in with great reps, ended up gone because they couldn't handle that.
Yeah, couldn't. And some guys think, oh, I did this, and that. Like if I was to walk in, Ohio State my freshman year, it's like, yeah, I want a state championship. Like I beat Phoenix by 50 points. People would laugh at me like, so, like we got like Braxton Miller, Ezekiel Elliott, all these guys in the locker room. Like they did that times two. It's a guy on our defensive line this past year who never lost a high school football game. 4 straight championships, like All-American. Like it's always somebody that done the same thing. And then it's a guy, we had got a guy named Tuff Borland. He started at middle linebacker. He just recently got hurt, unfortunately. 2-star recruit came in, and he is a baller. So your stars don't matter. Like I hope some recruits listening to me right now, 24, they don't. Nobody cares.
All the combines you went to are relevant at that point. Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
And the kids are so worried about where they're ranked.
Like, stop putting with your rank in your bio. Because when you get here, they're gonna joke you. For one, first of all, we're gonna clown you for having that, and then 2, I want to see. Okay, you 5-star offensive
what you gonna do? Yeah.
Show me. Like that's why I'll be telling the young old linemen that come in. Oh, I see what you've been tweeting. Now show me in practice. You know what I mean? Like we don't care about none of that. When you get here, it's a clean slate. It's no stars. I want to see how you work in the weight room, and I want to see how your practice habits and all that stuff come into it.
Good stuff. I mean, you think about it. Kids come in with their head big because they've been told how good they are. And then when you step into place at the next level, it don't have to be Ohio State. It could be Millersville, Lock Haven University.
Yeah,
everybody's good for the most part. They got recruited, so now you made a great statement. You got to earn your keep every day. Plus, as you veterans see, that's how the youngster does with all that. Mm-hmm. So the girls, the partying. Oh, okay, let's see if they can handle all that mess.
And that's I ain't even add that to with the school. Like you got socialized. Like you got, especially in Columbus, Ohio. You play for Ohio State. It's what I mean?
Down the street. Come on.
And some dudes like that's really a problem. Like guys have girl issues and stuff like that, and it it take a toll on them. They can't balance it. It's a lot of stuff that come into play when it comes to college.
Anything would take you down. Mm-hmm. And again, you've seen it. I only coached at the college level a little bit. We warned our players. I saw it coming. People can't understand it. Mm-hmm. Got girls fighting over them in the stands. And I'm like, okay, you know what? You need to take a break for about a week or 2.
Yeah.
And by the way, your minutes will be replayed. Yeah. You just don't realize it. It's out there. And if you can't overcome a lot of the mental part of that, then you won't play for pay someday. Yeah, you just won't.
Yeah, we didn't have because I was voted team captain. We had like different meetings with different players, and it's like all the captains, Coach Meyer, you know what I mean, and then the guy we having a meeting with, and half the time it was like we had to tell him like, yo, you need to break it with your girlfriend, dog.
Yes,
because you not here, you're not here, like you're not.
Interesting. We're talking with Jalyn Holmes, Ohio State Buckeyes defensive lineman out of Lake Taylor High School in Norfolk. You want to talk to Jalyn? Give us a call at 757-687-9494. That's 757 area code 687-9494. You can hit us up on Twitter too at HS Sports Talk 941, HS Sports Talk 941. Jalyn, you had a pretty loaded defensive line when you played at Ohio State. So whether you're doing well or not, it can be easy to want to leave from that situation, but also you're competing with Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, Tyquan Lewis, Sam Hubbard, for those guys, which was arguably the best D-line in the country. Was there a turning point for you now looking back at it that your college career is over that allowed you to get on the field and have success?
Yeah, like I said, I brought up that spring with Coach Meyer. Asked me that question, did I care? And it was going into my junior year, and it's just like, I remember sitting in my living room with Tracy Sprinkle, and we both on this bubble. Like, this spring, we got a ball. Because if we don't, we not playing. And if we not playing, we leaving. And I don't want to leave. Like, I love where I'm at. I love the school. I love my teammates. I don't want to be the guy that go to that school and then has to transfer to somewhere smaller because he couldn't get on the field. So that was a turning point for me. And what I changed is what I put my focus to. I put all my focus to football, school, and practice habits. Like, I just focused on stuff like that, and that helped me, get my way on the field.
So a lot of ways, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a pride thing, but also a fear of failure, because if I come back home, now I've told everybody that said I wouldn't make it was right.
Yeah, fact. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And then I kept replaying it in my head, like people really was saying that, and if I was to do that, I'm falling right into what they said. I make them even look like they some type of guru or something, and they don't know nothing.
Yeah, true.
So
That's a good point. That's a real good point.
So I'm not going out like that. I'm going to ball, and I had to figure out small stuff that's going to help me, like taking care of my body, cold tubbing, watching film, and not just watching it, but like paying attention to detail, stuff like that. And that really turned my game all the way around.
Let's go to the phones for Jalyn Holmes out of Lake Taylor High School, Ohio State Buckeyes, 757-687-9494. We'll get you in here. Jalyn getting ready for the NFL draft. You read the mock drafts, you can see anything with it, but pretty much, Ed, the consensus we're seeing is people are projecting you, which means nothing, third round for this coming week. Let's go to first up, Jeff in Norfolk. You're on with Jalyn Holmes. Jeff, you out there?
Buddy.
Turn that radio down.
I turned it off, sir.
All right.
The biggest Buckeye fan out here. I was born and raised up there, watched Archie Griffin go. How's it feel to be a Buckeye?
It's amazing, man. I love it so much because it's love everywhere. No matter where I'm at in the country, if I got some Ohio State on, somebody that say something to me, and that's just a great feeling. I feel like we got the best fans, and a lot of people hate us, and I like that too. But but it's all good. Got fans like you, man, that support us, and I love playing. I love playing for Ohio State.
Live and die. I got scarlet and gray going in one arm and orange and brown in the other.
Okay.
How was Coach Meyer?
He was a great coach, man. He was he could be hard, but he was hard on you for the right reasons, and he always preached trying to be a good football player and a better man.
Absolutely, absolutely. I hope you go high in that draft. You're one of the best defensive linemen ever. You be good. God bless, and take care, bro.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff. Let's quickly go to Skip, and then we got another special guest here in Hampton. Skip, you're on with Jalyn Holmes.
Hey, Jalyn, this is me calling back, the Phoebus guy. I would like to ask about how did he balance social life and football? I played college football, albeit Division II, down in Alabama at Tuskegee, and it was a bear trying to balance your social life, academics, and then playing football. Everybody wants to have a social life, but in order for you to reach the level that you're at, you couldn't have too much of a social life.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of student athletes in this area that has aspirations to play college ball need to realize that sometimes you won't get that social life because you're concentrating on schoolwork, practice, films, weight room, and other things like that. So I think the kids around here really need to hear the amount of time that you put into preparing to get where you are today.
All right, thank you, Skip. Appreciate that. We touched on it a little bit earlier, Jalyn, but did the coaching staff do anything specifically to also help you guys adapt once you made that transition from high school to college with that?
Yeah, so like they did like certain stuff, but it's just some stuff coaches, they not there with us.
True.
You know what I mean? Throughout the whole day.
They can't babysit you.
Yeah, so I like, for me to get that whole focus for that spring I just told him I personally gave up just going out, period. Like, I gave it up completely. Like, Wayne would tell you, he would come up for a recruiting visit and look at me like, bro, we're going to be in the house all day. Like,
you don't know who Wayne is. That's Wayne Davis, your former Lake Taylor teammate who's at Ohio State now.
So, like, you know, like, I just gave it up. And throughout the rest of the day, it's like, you're not going to be able to go to every party. I'm not saying don't have fun, don't be, you know, you're still a kid. But
you need that balance.
Yeah, you need to have that balance where you can't make every party. Right. You can't drink every, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just need to stay in the house. Right. And it's going to be a time and place for it. Like, but for me, for that time, I cut it off completely. Like, I didn't go out. I didn't drink. I didn't do nothing. It was football, school. I didn't go nowhere. But as you know, going to my senior year, we just didn't go out all the time. Or like if we did do something, we stayed in the house and just you know, chill together. And eventually we end up talking about football, watching film. You know, so like it's just when you want to be that best, you got to give something up.
And that's the key. You can have that social life, but the more social life you engage in, the less everything else. Come on now, it's common sense. Right. So it depends on your work ethic and how much you really want.
I think our last call before we go to break here and do our final segment with Jalyn Holmes is the man who made you run a lot of hills in Norfolk, or the hill, I should say. He's the head Titan. I believe this is Coach Hank Sawyer, is it?
Look
Coach, you out there?
Yeah, I'm out here.
So, Coach?
I'm doing all right. I was working around the house, but I thought I better stop and call because Jalyn did an awesome job for us in the classroom as well as help us win our first state championship. But most important, I called to tell Jalyn, thank you for being a very unique football player. Jalyn didn't worry about offers. He didn't worry about combines. He didn't worry about what school he was at. He didn't even worry about when people would try to recruit him to other high schools and talk negative about Lake Taylor and their program. He always would say, Coach, what do we need to do to win? And I appreciate that because there's so many people out here now, you know, they don't want to coach a kid up and make a kid a good football player. They want to go take some player from some other school that coaching staff have built up. And I just wanted to say thank you, Jalyn Holmes.
Thank you, Coach.
Hank, don't leave that, Hank. Hold on, Hank. Hank, you got to tell us, compare the young, raw Jalyn Holmes to the product we now have who's a future pro here soon.
Well, let me tell you a little story. And Jalyn know about it. When Jalyn was in the 8th grade, I had some guys on Lake Taylor that threw him out of the program, out of the locker room, and told him don't come back. He's not a football player. And the next year, Jalyn Holmes' mother saw me at a function, and I asked her to do something for me. She said, I will only do it if you give my son another chance to play football. I said, another chance? I would love to have your son. But that just go to show you that players who think they know it all don't know anything about talent. And more importantly, they don't know anything about character of a man. And Jalyn has such outstanding character, and that's what sets him apart.
It's amazing, Coach. It seems like just yesterday, 6 years ago, when we had Jalyn, yourself, Brandon Porkchop Moore, Brambo, Brandon Litch, Jamel Spellman. You guys are celebrating the state titles. A lot of great memories, and I'm sure he's going to bring you and your wife and the whole Lake Taylor family and community even more memories, no matter what team he goes to. I know your wife is pulling for the Cowboys. What's your team again, Hank?
I don't have a team. My team is the Lake Taylor Titans.
All right.
I know he done playing for them.
I know his team. I ain't going to say that, though.
Oh, okay. They must have been doing well.
I'm a retired Redskin, man.
Retired Redskin.
Oh, boy.
Ever since they stole the team from Jack Cook's sons, I retired from that. So I only root for NFL teams that have Lake Taylor football players on it.
Well, you're going to have one here soon to join. I believe Marvin Mitchell was one of your former guys as well. Thank you so much.
Hold on. Stay with Hank. I got to ask this. Right. Now, Jalyn, your chance. Because he can't make you run. Your chance to give us a Coach Sawyer story, maybe when he was livid and spitting all over the place and doggone it, threw his hat down, stepped on it. Go ahead.
Oh, man.
Because he can't make you run no more.
Man, we on the radio, man.
Well, you got to keep it clean.
So he'll tell the commercial break, I think.
Yeah, because Matt and I want to come back, so got to keep it clean.
I may got to take this commercial break, man, but just know Coach Sawyer can get after it now, no matter who it is. Shoot. I remember one time we had a lot of penalties. I don't know who it was against, but he made us run that hill so long, man. I don't know how many times we did it, but I just know I remember him cussing us out the whole time, and I know we just kept going. I just kept hearing the whistle blow.
You ran until he got tired.
Basically.
and he don't get tired.
Thank you, Coach. We'll talk to you soon.
Well, thank you.
You got
Thanks,
it.
Hank.
Hank Sawyer, head football coach of the Lake Taylor Titans. One more segment here. You got a chance to call in and do it quick here at 757-687-9494 with Jalyn Holmes, the Lake Taylor product. Ohio State Buckeye 2, getting ready for the NFL draft right here on ESPN Radio 94.1.
You're listening to High School Sports Talk on ESPN Radio, presented by VirginiaPreps.com. Now back to your hosts, Matt Hatfield and the coach, Ed Young.
Man, we could spend all day with Jalyn Holmes. In fact, we're going to make a deal with you here live on radio. We're going to get you back at some point. I know you got a busy schedule after you get drafted, so it can be in May, June, July, August, whenever. We'll get you back in here for sure for another hour so the fans can talk to you, especially the fans of whatever team selects you or wherever you end up in the NFL.
I'm going one deeper.
Oh, here he goes.
Now, when you make the NFL, for
Raiders.
us to get you,
okay,
we got to go through 18 hoops, 18 PR guys, whatever. We're going to get your number.
We got that.
Circumvent all that.
He got my phone number.
Listen, we don't even need that. We just go straight to Coach Sawyer and Coach Witt. We can find them. We know where they live. So it's not hard.
I ain't going to throw them PR guys that
We
want to
just
know.
go to Coach Sawyer and Coach Witt. It's a piece of cake.
Man, I got my phone number, man.
All right.
Yeah. Coach
Make
Sawyer
sure.
and Coach Witt. Couple minutes here. You want to chime in with Jalyn Holmes? Give us a call at 757-687-9494. You guys mentioned Wayne Davis earlier. How is he doing, the ex-Titan now with the Buckeyes?
He's doing good, man. He had a great spring from what I'm hearing. And from what I seen when I came to practice, man, he having a great spring. And I think he hitting that turning point, that same turning point I hit. So he doing a great job, doing an amazing job in the classroom, Big Ten all academic team. So
good.
Wayne good.
That's the biggest thing people don't always understand is, you know, how much playing time, what your stats are. Is are you prepared for once this game ends, which can be at any point?
Man, people like when he wasn't playing this past year, people were like, well, what's wrong with Wayne? Like, man, Wayne probably not playing right now. But Wayne got like a 3.6 GPA, got like 3 job offers. Like,
wow,
Wayne good.
Yeah, he'd be ready. He'd be ready. Just need a number, name called.
It means he can hire you when you retire from playing football.
You know what I mean? Like, so this year, and then the spring practice I went to, he was dominating. So Wayne is okay, and especially off the field, he's even better.
When you look at these draft guys coming up at your position, it's a deep position at the edge spot. I'm looking at one magazine that's got you as 3rd round, 13th among edge guys, just in front of your Buckeye teammate Tyquan Lewis and Josh Sweat from Oscar Smith High out of Chesapeake. This book could, you never know though. You could go 7th, you could go 2nd. Who knows? What is your advantage at your position in your eyes for the draft? Is it that you have played some inside?
Yeah, I feel like you could put me anywhere.
Okay.
From 5-6 technique to all the way. I didn't play it to the shade. So, some guys say, I could do that too, but it's just like a in the moment thing. But I didn't actually play it. Like I was a defensive end that played 3 technique for real, like against like I said, them Big Ten offensive linemen. So I didn't really did it. I really feel like I'm versatile. I went from 3 technique all the way to staying up at outside linebacker and not defense. So I just feel like that's one advantage for me.
As we mentioned earlier, there's a number of guys from Virginia, the whole state, when you encompass outside of the 757 names like Tim Settle and Deshaun Hand and Greg Stroman. But just in this immediate area, yourself, Derek Noddy, Josh Sweat, Quinn Blanning, have you kept in contact with any of those guys that you may have seen back at some combines and played against? Or?
Yeah, we always keep in contact, especially if we got to the combine, man. It was just a big joke session the whole time. And, Andrew Brown won't let one game go away. Like, he need to just forget that game.
When you guys played them and Oscar Smith,
Like, bro, let that go. But nah, we
just
always
keep shining the ring in his face when he starts talking.
That's what I say back. But it's all good. Nah, it's all love, man. They're great. They're great guys. They're still here. They've been here for a minute. So, best luck to them. And I know they're gonna probably go high as possible too.
Well, it's important to keep up with fellas like that you played against. When you get on the field, you're gonna have your big rowds. You're gonna talk your smack, all that. That's part of the game. But to be able to rely on somebody who's gone through what you have, get a different perspective. Learn from their activity. A lot of times, because sometimes athletes get real paranoid or defensive. It's everything they do is the right. That ain't always the way it's all about.
Yeah, and with them guys too, I feel like we are good examples. I feel like me, Quinn, Andrew, Noddy, especially in this area, Sweat, we handle ourselves the right way, as far as on the field, off the field. Like we ain't Nobody had no off the field crazy issues. Everybody come back and they give back to the community. So I feel like all them guys, you know, they handle themselves the right way.
Well, that's something I was saying with Ed a week or two ago on the show, is that none of you guys, to my knowledge, have had any off-the-field issues. Yeah. We won't name names, but there have been guys from this area before that have either failed drug tests or have had some off-the-field issues.
Yeah.
Right. With you guys, it's perplexing to me. I want to see how it is you as a football player about to get drafted with this process. Or if you don't get drafted, have you thought in your mind how you would handle that? I mean,
if I don't get
drafted? You don't get drafted.
Ooh, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm going to just get to work, though. I mean, that's just...
Well,
it's the next.
You get to pick your team.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest.
You got to try to get the positive about it. I could pick my team. I could try to pick the coaches that I met with that I had better vibes with. Now I get to pick.
True.
And now I just get to work. You know, can't be sad forever. There's so many players that are Hall of Famers that went undrafted.
Oh, yeah. We think of Kurt Warner comes to mind, and Tom Brady was in the 6th round. But is it frustrating at all to hear the noise, or how do you block that out to hear that you could go this round or not go, or how do you handle all that?
Oh, man. And then when I come home, people just ask me a million questions. Or even when I'm in Columbus, people just ask you so many questions. It's kind of hard to, avoid it. But, I mean, my way is just continue being me. Like, just continue hanging with friends and working hard. Working on my fundamentals, and on my off time, see me on 2K. Like, I just try to be me. I don't try to do everything else and try to, get on Twitter and miss the latest mock draft, because you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Sure. You can only control what you can control.
And you, for God sure, can't answer every critic.
Yeah.
Come on now. That's I always say that to the athletes. That's stepping down to their level, because there's no way in God's green earth they're going to go to yours. So you're stepping down a level. You don't need to do that. The draft is crazy. You could go first, you can go second, third, not or whatever. The thing is, be ready. You're going to get an opportunity to play for money. We already know that.
Yeah.
Your past has showed that, high school, college. It's just you have to be ready. All that other stuff, the stuff people write in a book, they think you're this or that, that's fine. They have not been in Jalyn Holmes' shoes.
Yeah.
They haven't been in Jalyn Holmes' mindset. And the kids, the athletes, the young men, young ladies in their sport, they can keep that out and just keep persevering. The thing that scares me, if this guy here don't get drafted, the league is going to be, somebody going to get hurt, because it's going to motivate him to rip somebody's head off. And the next drill that he goes up against somebody, oh, you were drafted and you were, okay, now you got to deal with me. I can see that happen with this guy here. Somebody going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Before we get to rapid fire, we're talking with Jalyn Holmes out of Lake Taylor High School in Norfolk, Ohio State Buckeyes, defensive lineman. What a career. 85 total tackles, 15 for loss, 5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 2 recoveries. NFL draft coming up on Thursday. Hopes to hear his name called pretty early in one of the top 3-4 rounds here. 757-687-9494 is our number here, but we are out of time for calls. So hit us up on Twitter if you got a question. We can get to them next time at HS Sports Talk 941, HS Sports Talk 941, and also a national champion as we put out the ring, which I'm still just mesmerized at how big that is, Jalyn. We asked Noddy last week, Derek Noddy, what was the craziest question an NFL personnel person posed to him? And he told us it was, do you like sugar with your grits? To which he replied, I don't eat grits. So we'll throw it to you. Keep it as clean as you can. What's the craziest question someone that sat you down this process asked you?
Patron and Hennessy.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And your response, I hope, was neither, or did you have an answer?
Depends.
Depends? Okay.
In case the right people are listening.
I mean, you got to be truthful with them. They know.
Okay.
They know. Like, you know what I mean?
There's a reason for them asking that stuff.
Yeah.
It really is.
So, that was crazy.
All right, we're going to throw some rapid fire. You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Jalyn Holmes, a couple of these you've had before, but favorite TV show?
Ooh, right now?
Yeah.
Or just period? Family Guy. No. Family, yeah, go for it. Family Guy.
That's Ed's favorite show. Matter of fact, Thomas, do you have the little, we have Stewie on the other side of the glass, I think. Do we not? There he is.
And now back to Matthew Hatfield and the evil basketball coach. Blast you, Ed Young!
Stewie, yeah.
Stewie knows who we are. Favorite movie?
Paid in Full.
Okay. Easier to imitate, Coach Hank Sawyer of Lake Taylor or Coach Urban Meyer of Ohio State?
Coach Hank Sawyer.
Okay. You want to give us a little sample of it? We just had him on, but no. He'll still find you. He knows where you live. I'll be waiting for you in the bushes, Jalyn.
Plus FCC rules.
Okay. All right. Do you play the game Fortnite?
No.
You don't? Okay. You play 2K. All right. If you had a chance to win $1 million in the 2K tournament, who would you go with? Coach Young, Coach Witt, or the Whittington kids?
Whittington kids.
All day.
Yeah.
Not even close.
All day.
Not even
Taking Makai. He know what he doing.
Okay. 4 more for you. One last meal on earth. What would it be? Not sugar with grits, right?
A New York strip steak.
Oh, I'm good with that. There's a place downtown Norfolk I'll take to one day. Well, you can take me to when you get the contract.
Yeah, that's right. When he gets that name called, right.
Toughest offensive lineman you faced, be it high school or college?
Billy Price.
Billy Price from
Ohio State, my own team.
Okay.
I can't stand going against him.
NFL player. We ask you what team's going to draft you, what team you want to most play for. That's bulletin board material sometimes. What NFL player are you most looking forward to playing with or against?
I'm looking forward to playing against or playing with one of my former teammates. Marshawn, Lattimore, Raekwon, Malik Hooker, any guys I played.
So no
with.
guy you grew up watching as a dream player that's still in the league. Okay.
Nah.
And lastly, what's the first item you will buy with your first paycheck? Mom is listening.
My grandmother's house.
Oh, nice.
Like that. That's a good one.
Jalyn Holmes, Ohio State Buckeye, Lake Taylor High, a state champ, a national champ. Get ready for the NFL draft. I know good things are coming for you, my man. Thank you so much for coming by. We really appreciate it. And you got to give some shout-outs before we go, right?
Yeah, I do want to ask this. We want to talk about teams in that now because he's a pro. But who was your favorite team as a youngster in the NFL?
Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right, write that down.
Tennessee
And
Titans.
that's with the head coach from Ohio State, Buckeye lore, Mike Vrabel. So that could be a match made in heaven. You never know.
Don't forget, Steelers and Raiders look pretty good.
You know, he said that to E.J. Manuel, and then Manuel went to the Raiders. Right after he'd been begging him for 3 years, he
Get out
finally
of
went to the
Buffalo.
Raiders.
Get out of Buffalo. It's too much snow.
Your shout-outs real quick before we let you run.
I want to give a shout out to my sisters, Tierra and Kara, my little brother Jarrell, my homeboys that's watching, John, Dame, Jaquel, Pulu, Snook. I think I'm missing somebody, and then my grandmother's birthday is tomorrow. My niece's birthday is tomorrow. Well, Monday. My Aunt Viola's birthday is coming up, and my mother and my dad.
You got some presents to buy. It's a good thing money's coming your way. Thank you so much, Jalyn.
Might have to hold on for that, but it's coming.
We appreciate you this morning, all our guests, as well as the callers. Danny Mitchell, Hampton High, Jalyn Holmes, Lake Taylor, Ohio State. Tom and Simmons, our producer engineer. I'm Matt Hatfield.
I'm the coach, Ed Young.
We'll talk to you next Saturday right here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com, only on ESPN Radio 94.1.